Since this meeting, since this is a meeting of officers of the company and the representative of the employees, it is the only by your courtesy that I am here, for I am not so fortunate as to be the either one or the other, and yet I feel that I am intimately associated with you, man. For in a sense, I represent both of the stockholder and the directors. Isn't that a superb example of the fine art of making friends out of the enemies? Suppose Rockefeller had taken a different tact. Suppose he had argued with those miners and hurled devastating fact in their faces. Suppose he had told them by his tones and the insinuation that they were wrong. Suppose that by all the rules of logic he had proved that they were wrong, and that would have happened. More anger would have been insisted of, and more hatred, more revolt. If a man's heart is wrangling with a discord and a ill feeling towards you, you can't win him to your ways of thinking with all the logic in Christendom. Scolding parents and demeaning bosses and husband and nagging wives out to realize that people don't want to change their mind. They can't be forced or driven to agree with you or me, but they may possibly be led to if we are gentle and friendly, ever so gentle and ever so friendly. Lincoln said that in effect over the hundreds years ago. Here are his words. It is an old and true maxim that the drop of honey catches the more flies than the gallon of gall. So with a man, if you would win a man to you, you cause first convince him that you are his sincere friend. There is a drop of honey that catches his heart, which say what you will is a great high road to his regions. Another member of one of our classes, grilled at wing of the Littleton, New Hampshire, reported how by using a friendly approach, he obtained a very satisfactory settlement on the damage claim. Early in the spring, he reported before the ground had thawed from winning winter freezing, there was an unusually heavy rainstorm, and the water, which normally would have run off to nearby ditches and storm drain along the road, took a new course in on to building a lot whether I had just built a new home. Not being able to run off the water pressure built up and around the foundation of the houses. The water forced itself under the concrete basement floor, closing its explode, and the basement filled with the water. This ruined the furnace and the hot water heater. The cost of repair this damage was in excess of $200,000. I had no insurance to cover this type of the damage. However, I soon found out that the owner of the subdivision had neglected to put in a storm drain near the house, which could have prevented his problem. I made an appointment to see him. During the 25-mile trip of his office, I carefully reviewed the situation and remembering the principle I learned in this course, I decided that showing my anger would not serve any worthwhile purpose. When I arrived, I kept very calm and started by talking about his recent vacation to the West Indies. Then, when I felt the timing was right, I mentioned little problem of water damage. He quickly agreed to do his share of helping to correct the problem. A few days later, he called and said he would pay for the damage and also put in a storm drain to prevent the same thing from happening in the future. Even though it was the fault of owner of subdivision, if I had not begun in friendly way, there would have been a great deal of difficulty in getting him to agree to the total liability.